I'm not a Bears fan. Do they need to win a Super Bowl for y'all? No, they need to be good. They need to win a game that is worth the record they have is because they had a soft schedule. And the best win on their resume is, as we talked about, in a spiraling Eagles team who can't get on the same page offensively. We just gave you the stats. They're one of the worst offenses in the league. And they have a bunch of I wouldn't even call it off the field, like a locker room turmoil. Like there's something going on, whether it's between the two players or the players and coach. I got to imagine it's a mix of everything. But now you think that the Super Bowl champion Eagles, who have the best front office in sports, if it's as simple as the offensive coordinator, you don't think Howie Roseman wouldn't just move from that? Like, do you think it would just? Do you think that these guys are just being stubborn? If they thought it was just simply the offensive coordinator, of course not. But you gym class Jerry's out there just watch games on your couch and think you know everything. Shut the fuck up. All right? Just watch the game. Enjoy the game. Okay. Now, when it comes to the Bears being legit, let's be honest about the contender word that gets thrown away to contenders for what? The Chicago Bears are about as legit as a $3 bill. And listen, I get it. 9-3. Congrats on finally winning games by the skin of your teeth, or only winning games by the skin of your teeth. But their point differential is +6, which is pathetic for a team that has 9 wins. All the other the other 3 9-win teams, or 10 wins now, are double digits. And so you're not blowing anybody out. It's not like you guys are just destroying the competition. You're winning coin flips. Let's be honest about it. Like, you're tied for the third worst out of for the last 12 games, 376 teams with 9 victories in the last 12 seasons. That's the worst point differential in the last 12 years. That's not a sign that you guys are good. That's a sign that you guys are lucky. You guys, that's an outlier. That's not a rule. But that's what you're living your life on. And I get it. You've been dog shit for a long time, and that's fine. Be happy with the victories. But let's knock it off with contenders. You guys know that Caleb Williams isn't good. He is bottom 3 in bad throw percentage. He's not good. He has a 58% completion percentage. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Russell Wilson has a better completion percentage than Caleb Williams. Is he good? Is he awesome? The fuck are y'all doing? Like, what is knock it off. Ben Johnson is awesome. He is doing what you hired him for. But the problem is, you give an inch, you take a mile. You can't be happy that the Bears are finally turning it around and building towards something. You guys got to go to the extreme. Contenders, Super Bowl favorites. I couldn't believe the topics I was seeing on sports television today. The Bears. Listen, okay. The Bears are running to a gauntlet. Like I said, I didn't expect them to beat the Eagles, but they beat the Eagles. That's cool. But the defense is suspect, and your passing game is not good. If you think that's going to beat the Seahawks and the Rams and some of these other teams come playoff time, I got some volcano insurance to sell you if you truly believe that. Why am I making it about Caleb? Oh, why am I making it about Caleb Williams? Anybody want to take a fucking guess?
Position on the field.
Where was he drafted? Was he a 5th round draft pick like Shedeur Sanders? No, I'm pretty sure he was the number 1 draft pick. Matter of fact, he was the most touted number 1 draft. He was so good, he didn't have to do the draft combine. Remember that shit? Mm-hmm. No, I'm not doing no fucking medical things. I don't have to do that shit. I'm the number 1 pick. You know what? Even though I sucked in college, I just put up a bunch of numbers in garbage time. I didn't even sniff the playoff. All I could do was cry in my mother's arms because I forgot how to pass in the 4th quarter of big games in college. And we told you on this show, I'm pretty sure with the same 3 guys, that Caleb Williams heading into the pros is not going to translate the way you guys think he is. The problem is he's Manny Pacquiao. There was no other great boxer around him, so you fooled yourself to thinking he was the best. And guess what? He's not. He is average. He's okay. He has talent. I'm not telling you he's Nathan Peterman, but he's also not Patrick Mahomes. And you guys, you Bears fans, keep acting like you have Patrick Mahomes. It's a joke. If the Bears beat the Packers, then what? Then they beat the Packers. That's a good victory. That's a good victory.
Let's take this one. Okay. Let's just run down the ledger for the Bears, because I feel like at this point, maybe I'm missing something. So maybe maybe one of these two distinguished men who have lived a little bit more than I. Maybe they can straighten me out here because maybe I've missed the mark and I don't understand how football works. So if I go back and we take a look at the games the Bears have played this season, yes, they have won 9 football games. Love that for them. If we just run down their schedule real quick, first of all, they started the season 0-2 and got 52 hung on them the second week of the season because the Lions needed to take their anger out because they got beat on by the Packers the week before. Let's start there. Okay, so they beat the Cowboys. Good win. They beat the Raiders. They beat the Saints. They've beaten the Bengals. They've beaten the Giants. They've beaten the Vikings. Like, they haven't beaten, like, the best team they've beaten is the Philadelphia Eagles. You don't believe that. There's no way you believe that. There's no way.
Before you, I'm sorry. This is what bothers me about when people just look at where they rank. Dwayne Marcus is currently running down your level of competition. That's why you have the best O-line, because you've played a bunch of shitty defensive line, and it just inflates and fools you to thinking what those numbers are. You're not playing the best defensive lines, and you guys are just now the best O-line in the NFC. You guys haven't played anybody, man. That's what Dwayne Marcus. Stop doing that to yourselves. Stop doing that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So this is my point with the Bears, right? And I understand how I'm not saying there's no reason to be excited, right? When you go from 3 wins to 9 wins, obviously there's something to be excited for. But what I am saying is when you look at the teams that the Bears have played, and I get it, you can only play who's in front of you. The only fully healthy teams they have played were the first 2 weeks of the season. And they lost to J.J. McCarthy in primetime. And then they got 52 hung on them by the Lions because the Lions needed to prove a point that they were better than what happened week 1 in Lambeau. That's the reality. You guys played the Cowboys. They didn't have CD. You guys played the Raiders. The Raiders suck. You played Washington. No Terry McLaurin. You played the Saints. The Saints suck. You played the Ravens. If I'm not mistaken, they didn't have Lamar Jackson, and you lost that game to Cooper Rush. You played the Bengals. No Joe Burrow. You played the Giants. Giants suck. You played the Vikings. The Vikings, I believe, didn't have J.J. McCarthy in that game. I think you guys played freaking Carson Wentz in that game. You played the Steelers. The Steelers are old, and even that was a tough one for you. And then you beat the Eagles in their incompetence and their struggles. So, I love that for you. But you're approaching a stretch of the season where you have the Packers twice, the Niners, and the Lions. 3 teams who are better than you. 3 teams who know what it takes to win a football game. 3 teams with a better coach. 3 teams with a better quarterback. 3 teams with a better defense. 3 teams with better offensive weapons. 3 teams with better everything. So if you want to sit here and tell me that the success of the Chicago Bears hangs solely on a 9-point win over the defending champion Eagles, who we have all acknowledged have not been the same this season, then I don't know what to tell you other than clearly you're not used to winning. And that's just the reality of the situation. I don't care that your defense has been hurt all season. You've played nobody, bro. You have played nobody. There's not a good team on this. The good teams that you've played, you lost to. And the bad teams that you played, you've beat or barely beat. And you and you lost the game you had no business losing. And you want me to sit here and sing you your praises because you've won 9 games when you've had a cupcake schedule. You want me to be shivering in my boots because you beat a team that we held to 10 points.
Bert,
what do you want me to do?
Bert, are we tripping, or the Bears fans sniffing too much nail polish, or are they legit NFC title contenders?
No, I think Bears fans have every right to be excited, but you can't ignore the fact that of your 9 wins, the only currently as it stands teams above 500 that you beat are the Cowboys and the Eagles. Then you rolled over an old Steelers team that's currently sitting at 6-6. So there's at some point, look, appreciate what you're doing and you're winning games. But as Dwayne Marcus just said, because I had the same thing pulled up here, you're looking at a schedule that has like you said, the Packers twice, Detroit, and the Niners. Those are 4 games that I'd be nervous about. Let's say you split against the Pack. You win against the Browns. I don't see you rolling over Detroit or the Niners. I mean, it's going to be tough going out, plain and simple. So I think, and as I said before, a win's a win. Enjoy it. But to sit here and pretend as though you all were beating the Chiefs or the Bills or these teams that have consistently won year over year, It's a bit delusional. It really is. So enjoy the win on Friday and then look and see what happens this weekend. I think this is probably going to be the biggest test of the season. And especially knowing since you have the Packers again in a couple of weeks after the fact, like as a franchise, you have to take one of those games. Otherwise, you know for sure that you're losing the division.
The Bears have played, of all the teams that are currently in playoff positioning, the Bears have played two teams. They have played three teams. Sorry. No, two, because it goes to 7. They have played 2 teams that currently hold a playoff spot. They played the Ravens, who they lost to without Lamar Jackson, and they played the Eagles, who they just beat, right? They also lost to the Lions, who are currently not in the playoffs, and they lost to the Vikings, who are 4-8. I am not going to sit here and be moved by a team that has split games against playoff teams and has not really played another team of full competence. You want to sit here and you want to keep saying the Packers lost to the Eagles. Yeah, we did lose to the Eagles in a defensive football game, in a game where literally we lost because of one blown coverage. One blown coverage is the reason why we lost that game. One blown coverage. If not for that one play, the Packers win that game 7-3. So, whatever. We lost the Eagles. Fine. But the Packers have also consistently the past couple of years been the toughest opponent for the Eagles, statistically and literally, in all of those games. We've defended them the best. We've played the best offense against them. Every time the Packers and Eagles have played a football game, it has come down to 1 or 2 plays. You just got here, little bro. You're still wet behind the ears. You just got here. Welcome to the big kid table. It's your first Thanksgiving at the adult table where you can finally sit here with the big kids. Love that for you. Relax. Please, relax.
The one thing I don't like about what the Bears fans are doing is they're hanging their hats on beating the Eagles. Look at that. We just beat the Super Bowl champs. So does that mean you're the Super Bowl champs now? How does that work? What does that mean? Like you beat them. Okay. Like the Eagles are not undefeated. They've lost games too. Like just stop using victories and trying to make it the story, because we can do this. Bad things happen. The Giants beat the Eagles too. Do you think the Giants are good? It isn't. It's you're using these wins and you're picking and choosing and ignoring everything else. If you're going to be, in your heart of hearts, if you're going to tell me that the Bears, when you get to the playoffs, that you think you're just going to coast through the fucking playoffs and you're going to win these games because of miraculous special teams plays like the Bears have been winning, they've been winning on everything under the sun other than the merit of their quarterback. You're winning because your coach is a genius and you've been a little lucky, actually a lot of lucky. And it's fine, but just stop puffing out your chest like you're making some sort of statement when you're in reality scraping by a lot of these wins. Again, 9 wins is 9 wins, but let's pump the brakes on contender. Like throwing around the C word is dangerous. So just we'll see.
I mean, technically right now they are contending for the division. So
I feel you. And yeah, and I'm talking about NFC title. Like they're talking about like the Bears.
That's
contending for the division, but also like at the same time, you have to sit here and recognize that obviously you expect the Bears to be better this season. They won 3 games last season. Yeah. But if you're asking me if a team is a contender, what you're asking me is, do I think this team, because at the rate the Bears are, do I think this team, the Chicago Bears, are going to be able to host or go on the road and make themselves into a Super Bowl caliber football team? The answer to that question is no. Because when the Bears see the Rams, they're going to lose. If the Bears see the Eagles again, they would lose. There's not a team in this field of playoffs except for the Packers, because it will be another divisional type game and anything happens in those games. There's no other game where you look at if the Bears walk into that game and you say, the Bears are favorites. You feel good about the Bears winning this game. Even in a Packers game, even if they are the 1 seed, the Bears wouldn't be favored in a single game this postseason. I can't say you're a contender off that. Your quarterback is completing less than 60% of his passes, and you want me to believe that you are a contending football team for a championship. You've lost your mind. Again, like I said, this is proof that y'all just don't know what it's like to be up here. And it's okay.
And this is also proof that you don't listen. Did I say that the Eagles were going to beat the Bears? I never said that. I actually gave you a way that you could win. Now, my prediction was wrong. The analysis was wrong, because if I looked at the data, the Eagles secondary is the weak point and their run defense is the strong point. So I said if you were to win, you would win in the air. Now, they won on the ground. that's whatever. If you want to talk about my analysis being wrong, but I never said that the Eagles were going to straight up win. I said the Bears could win, actually, because the Eagles' offense is terrible. Y'all don't listen. Y'all probably, Bears fans are just as stupid as the Eagles fans. So, anyway.